Hey guys, how's it going? So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Paldea Evolved. I don't really want to waste time, so I'm just going to get straight into it. I just want to say thank you guys for the support recently. It has been very amazing. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe. I want to make sure that I give good insights. But yeah, anyways, let's get to the video. Alright, so let's talk about Paldea Evolved. So basically, I just want to firstly start. I'm an Australian YouTuber. I'm in Australia, and I make Pokemon videos about the Australian market. Of course, we can talk about the American market, but we need to be talking about the Australian market because that's where most of my viewers are at. That's where most people know me. So of course, you know, perhaps the prices in this video may be a little bit different to the US, and I'm going to be using that some key factors on why you should consider buying some Paldea Evolved in Australia. Alright, so first of all, let's just discuss box price and let's just discuss what's been going on with Paldea Evolved. So Paldea Evolved was completely flat when it came out. The Magikarp was like $50 when it came out. It was decent, it was better than Scarlet Violet base, but people didn't really like it. But as you know, more time went on, and then we got Twilight Masquerade, Surging Sparks, Prismatic Evolutions, then the Magikarp creeped from like 150 to 200, then 250 to 400. Once it hit 400, the PSA 10 peaked at $2,000. Alright, so what happened at this point, we've never really seen before, where the grading is so depressing for a card that getting a PSA 10 is worth about 2k or even like 2.5 at one point, and the raw card is worth like 350. So basically there's a lot of uncertainty towards what was going to happen with these boxes. I'm just going to go out and say I actually don't like this set. I think it's extremely shit, I think it's extremely weak, and it's very lukewarm and feels very watered down. But talking from an investing point of view, I think it's honestly a pretty solid set to invest in. I wouldn't sell everything and put all your money in Paldea because it still is an average set, but I'm more of just saying at this current point it's really good. Alright, so currently in America it sells for about $550 a box. There's confirmed sales at like $560, $570, but we don't really count those. It's like $520 to like $550, so it's going absolutely bonkers in America. In Australia it's at about $360 to $370. If you're lucky, you might be able to get one for $350, $355, but right now it's about the $360 to $370 range. Now what we can do is we can look at the American market and we can understand a key factor that the Australian market lags behind America by about 2 to 3 weeks. So, you know, Evolving Skies was selling for 3k in America. So 3k AUD in America. It was 2k USD, but it's pretty much the same thing. 3k AUD in America, and it was still selling for 2k here. Now why is that? Because we are lagged behind. But then sure enough, the other day, now the cheapest listing on eBay is 2.9k, like 2.95, pretty much 3k. So basically you can see there's a lot of strength with like the Sword and Shield sets, but you can see that in America they sold for a lot and now they lagged behind to Australia. And you can see the same thing happening with Paldea Evolved. So I really want to make this video quick. I want to make this under 10 minutes. So I'm just going to spew a bunch of information to try to keep up. So key point number 2 is that it's tough grading, but it's for all cards. There are some like $50 cards that are like $400 as a 10. You never see that. That's not common at all. That's bonkers. That makes no sense. But for Paldea Evolved, it makes perfect sense. It's not a Magikarp thing. It's a Paldea Evolved illustration rare thing. The SIRs grade fine. The IRs is where you have the difficulty. Yeah, so basically you can see there are some cards such as the Raichu. The Raichu's quite expensive as a 10. The Tyranitar, you know, other illustration rares are very, very expensive. And basically what I think is going to happen right now, so Paldea Evolved is a very weak set right now. It's very lukewarm. You've got one good card, but then the rest is shit. Not really justifying a $550 price in the US. I think that's stupid in my opinion. I think it should be like $450 and then stagnate maybe for half a year. Maybe by Christmas it deserves $500, but now it's just stupid. However, let's say it does stay at $550 and let's just say everybody's laughing. So what's going to happen is that there's going to be less boxes of this available, but then for the next year, any, you know, collection boxes, blister packs, 3-pack blisters, check lane blisters, all this shit, now this is slowly going to dry up and packs are going to be hard to get. Now what happens at this point is basically the cards start to creep up. There's a good chance that Raichu is going to be a $200 card. There's a good chance the Tyranitar is going to be a $150 to $200 card. Maybe not exactly 200 on the spot. Maybe the Raichu could go from 80 to like 150. I don't really know. But the point is that the singles, a lot of the singles are going to creep up very soon. Generally, when packs are hard to pull, then people get FOMO from the set and they're like, oh my goodness, this Raichu is really cool. Like the Raichu is an $80 card, right? A lot of people want that Raichu. It's a very desired card. It's a very, very cool card. It's $80, but the problem is people may look at it and go, oh my goodness, Paldea Evolved is leaving rotation. I better buy this card for my personal collection, for investment, whatever reason, before it, you know, shoots up. And we're currently in that phase now where the first phase is the box price going up. then loose packs and blisters and stuff like that, and then singles. The same thing happens with Sword and Shield, the same thing happens with Sun and Moon. That's how it works. The box price goes up, then all the other sealed product, and then the singles, and then the PSA 10s, and then everybody's laughing. But you do need to note that this is not going to happen tomorrow. And the problem is, because with the Pokemon market right now, every 2 weeks something new is happening. Black Bolt comes out, then Destiny Rivals is about to release, SPCs come out, and then, you know, oh, it turns out Black Bolt pull rates are going to be hard. It turns out, I don't know, Journey Together enhanced boxes, there's only going to be one wave of it. Like every 2 weeks there's constantly something coming out that's like shooting to the moon. And the problem about that is it makes people think like this is all going to happen tomorrow. What I'm doing is I'm predicting what Paldea Evolved is going to do based on past performance, and then I can see that and go, okay, in the next 1 to 2 years this is going to happen. So if you want to invest in anything, I would honestly recommend Paldea Evolved in Australia. Because here's the thing, there's nothing better than buying an investment and then it goes up 2 weeks after you buy it, 3 weeks after you buy it, and then it stagnates and now your new position is up. It's very nice. It's very satisfying when that happens. When you buy something and then all of a sudden everybody wants it after you. That's great. Paldea Evolved is doing that in Australia. So basically we can accurately predict that Paldea Evolved will be a 450 to 550 box by 1 to 4 weeks from now. And the reason is because it sells for 550 in America right now. It's impossible for it to be 550 in America and then 300 here or 350 here. It's impossible. And right now it's happening, but the market will shift where it'll all be flatlined everywhere. You can't have these markets being different in the US and Australia, because what will happen is people in the US will go, I can buy it off my customers, say you're a card shop, I can buy it off my customers for 500 bucks and sell for 550, or I can buy it off people in Australia, I can buy a case, shipping might be $40, $50, but I can save $500 on the case. Which one do you think they're gonna go with? All right, so now that I've hopefully been able to convince you on why it'll be 550 in about 2-ish weeks, let's discuss the future of it. All right, so Paldea Evolved is in this very interesting timeline right now where it is a set that a lot of people are getting back into the hobby because of, you know, Prismatic Destiny Rivals, Black and Black White, you know, all that shit. And then they're looking at older stuff. Perhaps Sword and Shield. Sorry, I keep pointing. I should be clear. I have my Sword and Shield boxes there. That's why I keep pointing at them. You guys can't see them. Yeah, I picked these up recently. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about it. I love Evolving Skies. I always love owning this box. I've owned so many in the past. Bought it for 600, then sold it for 700. Bought it for 750, sold it for 900. Then, well, behold, I'm paying 2.5 per box. So, I didn't believe I'd be saying that, to be honest. But yeah, I also got this one, so I'm pretty happy about that. But for a lot of people, this is out of reach, which is perfectly fine. And for a lot of people who are new into the hobby, they're not going to want to be interested in Sword and Shield. They're going to think it's not worth opening. It's not worth collecting. This UK is still obtainable. This going from 300 to 550 in a couple of weeks is, first of all, more gains than Sword and Shield is going to do in the next year. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you this is not going to be a 2.5k box. It's not going to be a 2k box in a year, okay? It's going to take time for this to go up. These boxes will easily go from 350 to 550 in a short period of time because it's already done that in America, and Australia lags behind. So when I upload this video, you probably have about 2 weeks until it'll shoot up. In fact, if you look at eBay and you look at some marketplaces, there's so many listings above 450, some are like 499. There's only a couple at like 480, 490, so the clock is ticking. I've opened up probably 10 boxes of Paldea Evolved, and I can confidently say every single time I pulled an SIR, it's like a 1 in 30 chance, it's like 1 in 30 pack. So the chance of that every single pack, like it doesn't, it's actually very low that you don't get one. But yeah, so you're pretty much guaranteed one per box. If it's not already seeded in, and then you usually get about 3 IRs per box. So here's the thing, right? If you open up yeah, see, good thing I had it in an acrylic case, am I right, chat? Holy crap. Man, good thing I had that in an acrylic case. Holy crap. Holy shit. The thing is, it's very fun to open up, and that's the thing. I just still freaking scared me. It's so fun to open up. That's the thing. And with Evolving Skies, I'm just gonna hold it in my hand. With Evolving Skies, if you open up Evolving Skies, you can get nothing. If you open up Fusion Strike, you can get nothing. I've opened up probably 2 booster boxes worth of packs from Evolving Skies, and I've opened up probably a case worth of Fusion Strike. I've never pulled an alt art. Literally never. I've probably opened up probably 600 packs of Evolving Skies, sorry, just like Sword and Shield. I've only pulled one alt art. Literally one. It was the Lugia from Silver Tempest. And that was extremely lucky because it was a 1 in 4 chance of getting that. Like the one alt art, that was the one I actually wanted. But I've opened up so much Sword and Shield and you get nothing. You get jack shit. Literally nothing. At least with Paldea Evolved, you can pull an illustration rare. Yes, it might not be the one you wanted, it might not be the Magikarp, it might not be the Raichu, it might be off-center, but at least you're getting something, and that makes people really feel inclined to open these up. In fact, I would be willing to bet if I opened up all 4 of these, which I'm not going to do, but if I did that, there's a good chance I would pull some pretty popular illustration rares. Maybe I'd pull a Magikarp, maybe I'd pull Iono, I don't know, I don't know, but the thing is, there's such good pull rates with these, and it's so fun to open up. If I opened up any of these, I would have a fair shot at making my money back or pulling something cool or having a fun time. And that's, you know, what people want when they open up boxes. So that's all for today. I think I've said enough. Make a decision if you want to open up Paldea, if you want to invest in it, or whatever you want to do with it. But yeah, now you know the current market of Paldea Evolved.